Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news, starting as usual with Metal Earth, there's something new on the coming soon page, and that is a Willys Overland Iconics model. Now we've already got a Willys Jeep model, and it has that bar across the top. This one is a little bit different. The biggest obvious thing is the lack of that bar. It seems to be more of a basic Jeep model. It is Iconics. Two sheets listed as challenging, the finished size being 3.8 by 1.5 by 1.6 inches. It's listed new on the coming soon page. It's interesting that we're getting another Jeep. We'll come back to that in just a second. The other thing I want to mention is the Space Shuttle Challenger model and the Fokker DR1 model now have 360 views and some more pictures available, so you can get a little bit better view of what the model is going to look like. The most interesting part to me, as well as I know a few others, is the Space Shuttle. You can now see the front side, and so you now see quite a bit of difference between how this newer Discovery Space Shuttle model assembles compared to the older Space Shuttle models. The front nose is completely different. You also see by the front view that the Space Shuttle has its landing gears down, whereas you couldn't see that in the previous single rear picture. So there are a few more pictures out, as well as the addition of this Willys Overland Jeep. But it is interesting, going back to the Jeep, that now that they brought out this newer version of the Willys Jeep, the older Willys WB or MB Jeep model that has that bar on it is now on the retired list. And I don't know when that happened. I'm just now noticing it. It was actually pointed out to me by Cobra Looking, who I think had it pointed out to him by somebody else. But the Willys MB Iconics Jeep that's been around for just a little while is now on the retired list. I don't know what's going on there, but it's not the only thing that's popped up as retiring. Interesting that this went straight to retired, but on the retiring list there are two other models showing up now that going along with the Jeep. One of them is the Iconics Humvee model. They're retiring both the Humvee. Well, they're retiring the Humvee as well as having already retired the older Jeep. And they're also retiring the Black Panther model, which really isn't that old either. Very surprised at that one. Definitely wanted to get the Black Panther model. I just haven't, because there's been so many awesome models coming out that it's just not one that I've picked up yet. I'm surprised at that. That honestly, all three of these, but the Black Panther most of all, they're retiring a Marvel model. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that to see if that remains that way. Because I will say that a while back I reported that the Doctor Who models had made it to the retired list, but I think they came back off. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't heard any inside information, but they're bringing out these new models, one of which being a Jeep model, but they're retiring the old Jeep model, as well as a Willys, or not a Willys, but a Humvee and the Black Panther. So there's a lot of interesting and somewhat confusing stuff going on right there. On top of that, with Metal Earth, the latest newsletter came out. The December newsletter came out just a few days ago, and in it they previewed a V22 Osprey model, which is one of those with the rotating wings so that it can take off from a still position rather than needing a runway. Whether or not that's going to have rotatable wings, I have no idea. I'm kind of betting not. And I wonder if it's going to end up being like one of the Solo Star Wars story models where they showed the arms in one position and then changed them to another. But anyway, the newsletter came out. They're previewing the V22 Osprey, so that's another model. Last month, a newsletter previewed another aircraft type model. Neither one of those has shown up on the coming soon page as of yet. Other things are showing up on the coming soon page. Things are showing up on the retiring page. Things are showing up on the retired page. There's a lot going on kind of behind the scenes with Metal Earth right now. I'm doing the best I can to keep up with it. Along with that newsletter, they also announced another little kind of contest. They always do. If you're not subscribed to the Metal Earth newsletter, I'll put a link to it in the description down below so you can go see the web version, the HTML version. But you can go to metalearth.com and scroll down. I think scroll down to the bottom, and on the right side is a place where you can enter your email address to get the latest news from Metal Earth. It's basically how you subscribe to the newsletter. But in the latest newsletter, bring your Metal Earth to life. Show us your Metal Earth spirit. Send to marketing at fascinations.com a creative image of your Metal Earth builds portraying real life for a chance to win model kits. Rules, creativity, and imagination. Deadline, January 13th, 2020. When submitting your entry, please include your full name and mailing address. Winners will have their entry featured in the January newsletter. So there's all the information right there you need if you want to enter. If you don't have the newsletter already, I encourage you to enter. It's just an easy, fun way to get some free models if your entry happens to be picked. I do want to say congratulations to Jacob Gardner and Timothy Vogel for winning the latest contest. You can see their pictures in the latest newsletter in the link down below, or if you normally get the newsletter, you've probably already seen it. Revisiting Pschool, again, we keep talking about new things trickling out from Pschool. This week we have the Dancing Lion models are coming up. There's two Dancing Lion models. They're basically the same model, but we have a red Dancing Lion and a gold Dancing Lion. They both pretty much have the same specs. They have different model numbers. The red one is P142-GKR. The gold Dancing Lion is P141-GRN. They are both 4 sheets, 4 11 by 21 centimeter sheets, plus 5 accessories. They both have 112 parts. They're both listed as being brass. Finish size is 11 by 10.5 by 14.5 centimeters. And they are both rated at 3 out of 7 stars. You can get either, you can get both. They're not out yet. I just found out this morning they have a release date of December 25th, which will be Christmas time. So it'll most certainly be after Christmas, possibly the new year, before they start showing up for sale on places like Aliexpress. Speaking of things showing up on Aliexpress, the Piececool merry-go-round I've seen for sale both on crazytoys.co.uk and on Crazy Toys AliExpress store, as well as 1 or 2 other AliExpress stores. It's showing up as around $38 US, depending on the store and depending on whether or not you get the box, get it without the box, and places will ship models slightly cheaper if you basically delete the box. I also noticed the Erland God model on AliExpress on one of the stores for about $26 US. There's a lot of links in the description down below. This week got to be kind of a mess with so many different models popping out, but I put links to Crazy Toys website, to different AliExpress stores on some of the things that I found, including the Erlang model as well as the merry-go-round model, which are showing up. Every time I check, I find it in a different store. So you can just do a general search for it on AliExpress or follow one of the links down below. I also noticed, and it took me a while to piece this together, it looks like there are possibly 4 different MU models that have just shown up in different places around AliExpress. The first one I found was the MU Penglai Fairy Island. May or may not be saying that correctly. You know I try, but I frequently say things incorrectly. It's listed as a stainless iron and brass, or stainless steel and brass, I'm assuming. Finished size 22 by 20 by 35 centimeters. Multicolor. It's got 8 big sheets. Just says 8 big sheets. Listed as 7 stars, although it doesn't say 7 out of how many, and I honestly can't remember how many MU normally uses. And it's showing up for around $50 US. That's a pretty colorful and fancy looking little island. Looks like it might have waterfalls or something going down different places. Kind of put things together in a hurry this morning, so I didn't study it very closely, but I did like the colors of it and would love to have it myself. I also noticed a MU Garden 9 curved bridge building. The name is kind of long. I've seen it in 2 or 3 different places, and depending on the place, depends on the way that they say the name of the model. But it's another one of those kind of squarish building type models that MU has been coming out with a lot lately. I may have talked about this one before, but I think it is brand new. It's honestly getting a little confusing with which ones I have and haven't talked about. It's showing up around $17 US. Stainless iron or stainless steel. Finished size is 20.5 by 16 by 6 centimeters high. Multicolored, 5 sheets, 4 stars, and about 22 Honestly, I've confused my notes a little bit right here, because in one place I've got it showing up as 17 US dollars, and then I've got a note of it showing up as 22 US dollars, because I've seen it in so many different places. We also have the MU Confucius Temple, also listed as stainless iron or stainless steel, 10.5 by 9 by 4.5 centimeters, finished size, also multicolor. Most everything is at this point. 4 sheets, 72 pieces, 2 out of 7 stars. This one is showing up at about 18 US dollars on Aliexpress. And we also have, I believe it's new, though there's been several tanks released lately, we have an MU Sherman medium tank. It's listed as a medium tank, listed as stainless iron or stainless steel. It is showing up in the news section of several different stores. It's 13.5 by 5.3 by 5.8 centimeters, finished size, multicolored, 4 sheets, 4 11 by 19 centimeter sheets. This one actually says the size of the sheets. 169 pieces, 5 out of 7 stars, and showing up as about 26 US dollars. Seeing as how I have the Metal Earth Sherman tank model, it's right here beside my computer where I was doing the research. I looked, 13.5 centimeters, which is the length of it, translates to about 5 inches, give or take, a little over 5 inches. The Sherman tank model from Metal Earth that I have on the shelf is just under 3 inches long. So this MU Sherman tank is definitely a larger size than the Metal Earth version. And that is a somewhat quick rundown on several of the things that have shown up new, both with Metal Earth, with Pschool, and with MU on AliExpress and even Crazy Toys website. There are a lot of models releasing, and I've tried to put everything together in a comprehensive list. Again, there are a lot of links in the description down below if you want to weed through them to try and find these different models on sale more easily, or you can just go to places like Crazy Toys or AliExpress and search for yourself for the MU and Pschool models. As for the Metal Earth models, there's things coming soon, but nothing new has been released in the past few weeks. So that brings us to the question or topic of the week. And last week's question of the week was, do you have any special 3D metal model related plans for the holidays? Just something I kind of threw out there at the last minute. It occurred to me the holidays are coming, and while I've been very busy just trying to get everybody's gifts and presents and cards and everything sent off in the mail, I don't really have any special model related plans. Actually, my plans are kind of to take a break, because I do so many videos and so many builds. I'm thinking about taking a little bit of a break for the holidays. But I put the question out to others, did get a few responses, one of which from Cobra Looking. I ordered the full set of Piececool Q series, and it was looking likely to get here by Christmas, but the AliExpress tracker just updated the shipping status to held in customs. Guess I get to wait on customs to send me an explanation of why it's held and what I can do to free it. That is unfortunate. Cobra Looking, I do understand. I think we even talked about it a little bit. Trying to remember, it's been a while since I've ordered much from AliExpress, but I want to say that one of my first orders got held in customs as well. And you know, you go look online at the shipping information, it said held in customs, and it stayed there for several days. And then one day it showed up at my house, and I think I got the package and opened it, and here it is, and I went and looked, and it was still listed as held in customs. But whatever, sometimes the tracking information, especially once an item arrives to the US, can be a little bit skewed and off, and it really depends on how they're tracking the system, and I do not understand all the details in it. Hopefully it'll show up for you very soon. We still got a few days left, but yeah, that is very unfortunate. It's probably still on its way. I wouldn't worry too much about it getting held indefinitely, but there is always the who knows factor, but it'll probably still get there, though it does seem to be held up. George Bale, for this week's question, I hadn't planned on building anything special for the holidays related to metal models. Honestly didn't consider it until you brought it up last week. I was trying to slow down a bit and not get anything new until I knew for sure what, if any, models I might get as gifts. I do know there are a couple of music boxes out there that are Christmas themed though, and I might consider doing one of those. Thanks for the idea. And yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as far as getting new models. I don't want to get anything for myself right now because I don't know what people are going to get me, though usually I don't get very much. That being said, I do want to say a big thank you to whoever went on my wish list here very recently and sent me pretty much everything from it on the Toys website. That was a wonderful gift. Thank you very much. I now have, while they're not all built yet, I have all of the Legends models, save for one that I wasn't able to put on my wish list because at the time they didn't have it listed. But wow, thank you very, very much to whomever sent me all of those models, and to everyone else, I hope you get the models that you're looking for the holidays. John Finnegan Jr. Hi Brad, for Christmas I've built some knockoff metal Christmas tree. I have the Pschool sandals I need to build as part of a Christmas gift. I also have the Pschool wedding dress I need to finish building as a Christmas gift. Like yourself, I do not receive any kits for Christmas because I have so many and no one knows what I have. I do have a buddy down the street who I got into building them. Everyone else appreciates them, but they couldn't build them, won't even try. Keep up the great work and videos. And like I said in my last video, I completely understand. I did get a couple of special things when I was first started doing these models, and the collection was easier to keep up with. At this point, people are even afraid to get the stuff on my wish list, afraid that I may not have kept it up to date. So I understand. Chris Thorpe. Hi Brad, awesome video as usual. I finally managed to get the oversized 1989 Batmobile to build this Christmas. Very much looking forward to doing that one. Might try to sneak the MU Transformer Soundwave model in as well. Awesome. I have seen pictures of that big 89 Batmobile. That thing is huge. Good luck with your build, Christopher Thorpe. Taking a sidestep from the comments on my YouTube video, I do want to mention a Galidry Reddit user posted on the Metal Earth subreddit a Christmas tree that they built, and I'm honestly not sure if this is John Finnegan Jr., the same person or not, because as I just mentioned, John Finnegan mentioned having the knockoff Christmas tree. But a Galidry posted a video and a mention of me for giving them the idea to build a little Christmas tree for Christmas. I'll show a quick video of it right here. And if there's a link to their Reddit post in the description down below if you want to go and read the details. I talked a little bit about building the model, and one of the things they mentioned you may have noticed is the music seems to be a little bit fast, and it doesn't seem to be any adjustment, but it is a neat little model, and I guess if I was going to do something special for Christmas, that is one of the things that I might do. A neat little Christmas tree, sure, why not? Another thing that I've seen one or two people do, and I don't think, it was like a post on Facebook, and I don't think it was related to my video, is I've seen a few people, and I've even thought about it, taking Metal Earth models and turning them into Christmas tree ornaments. I have heard of that sort of thing over the past couple of years, thought about it myself. I'm far too fearful that they'll get damaged, but it is a neat and interesting idea, especially if you have an environment where you're not worried about the tree getting damaged, like, you know, say lack of cats or animals or children in the house. Not that I have any of those, but I am also a very clumsy person. The last comment I want to mention is kind of a leadway into the next bit from Jay. Hi Brad, another great video as always. Unfortunately, I can confirm that AC Moore is going out of business. My wife has been a manager at a local store for 11 years and will soon be out of a job. I'm thinking of trying to pick up a display case or two when they put them up for sale. As for the holidays, I don't have any plans to pick up any models. I have a bit of a backlog to build as is. However, I have dropped hints to Santa, Mrs. J, for that oversized 89 Batmobile. Got my fingers crossed. And Jay, that's very unfortunate. I'm very sorry to hear the news of anybody that's losing their job. I know there are several people here that are in my local area that are going to lose their position with AC Moore. A few of them I don't really know on a personal level, but they kind of got to know me because when I first started this channel, I was in AC Moore on a very regular basis, picking up new models on coupons to build them. So it's really unfortunate that all of these people are going to be out of jobs. Unfortunately, this is going away. For my town personally, we have a lot of model shops in a small area. AC Moore, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann Fabrics, all within a very close distance of each other, as well as a couple of other smaller places. So it's no huge surprise here locally that one of them is going under, but it is unfortunate. It was my favorite place to get Metal Earth models in the beginning, though they're supply diminished after the first year or two of them carrying it. They used to have a large selection, and I really haven't gotten much anything from them because they quit carrying the latest stuff. I will say that I was trying to keep an eye on when they were closing to try and take advantage of some sales, but they didn't make an announcement that this store is getting ready to close. There was a general announcement that I saw that said that it was going to happen and that stores were going to be announcing when later. I never got that announcement, and even the emails that I get didn't say we're closing. It just said big sale, and the usual coupons quit coming out. I did visit by chance my local AC Moore. They're already well into their clearance throws. I did overhear that there is more stuff coming from the warehouse, but I did notice that the small amount of Metal Earth models that they had have almost completely diminished. There was one Game of Thrones model that I grabbed at 25% off, which is not that good compared to the usual 50% off coupon I used to get, but there are no more 50% coupons, and if they were, they wouldn't accept them because they're going out of business. The other rack that still had Halo models on it and Mass Effect models was wiped out except for like 3 Mass Effect models. So people have really grabbed those models up now that they're going out of sale, which is funny because they should have got them cheaper while they had a coupon. But if you do have a local AC Moore and you want to swing by and see what's going on, it might be worth a try. The sales here haven't gotten as good as the coupons they used to give out, but you never know. I ended up grabbing the Game of Thrones model because it was either grab it now at 25% off or wait and just get it full price later on. So there is that. 2 more things I want to add to this before I wrap up this week's video. Before I wrap up the last 3D metal model news video of the year, I forgot to mention it a little bit earlier when I was talking about the Willys Jeep. Cobra Looking had recently posted a comparison of the Willys Jeep, the one that's coming out versus the one that's been retired, as well as some information about the shuttle. One of the interesting things about his post is he has a little neat thing where you can kind of slide and compare the 2 pictures of the 2 different Willys Jeep. There really isn't much of any difference between the 2 other than that arm thing that's kind of coming out of the back seat of the one that's been retired. But there's a link in the description down below to his post. You can go check that out for yourself. Second of all, I was recording this video before I found out that George Bell, thank you very much. It appears according to a Facebook post that it was you that sent me those models, so thank you greatly for a huge collection of models that now I can complete that little corner up there of the Metal Earth Legends models that has a blank spot. I didn't know that when I was reading your comment earlier, but I wanted to add that thank you in. I'm going to leave it at that this week. I'm not going to pose any new topics or questions right here before the holidays. I don't have any specific plans for building anything special. Quite the opposite. If I do have time and feel up to it, I will continue to work on the next build. I've got a Micro World model cathedral on the table that I want to do for my next video, but honestly, this is probably going to be the last 3D metal model news of the year. Next week, next Friday, is actually my birthday, and it's 2 days after Christmas, and I've thought about it, and I'm going to take the Friday off. So next week, there will not be a 3D metal model news video. My next 3D metal model news video will be on the 3rd of January. So I may see you between now and then with a video build with no promises. I may end up taking some time off. I've also had another infection related to the dialysis, which is being treated already and things are already getting better, but thinking of taking some time off for the holidays and just enjoying some time with friends and family. I'll see you next video. Everyone have a very happy holidays in whatever you celebrate. Enjoy your time, and I will see you later. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for your support. I do appreciate it. Thank you for your support in watching these videos and commenting on these videos. And feel free to leave any questions that you may want answered for the next 3D metal model news video. As always, thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.